There are two main reasons why you'd want to clone a repository. One, somebody has shared a repository with you and you'd like to be able to have local access to that on your computer with all the files. Two, you are working on your own project, you have a new computer and you want to be able to bring those files locally to your computer. First thing you do is sign in your GitHub Desktop. And the first one I'm going to choose is I'm actually going to assume I'm using someone else's repo. If I go to repository, I can go File and then say Clone Repository. And you can either filter from your personal repositories. I have quite a few that I could click on. So if you're signed your GitHub Desktop, you can go ahead and click on one and it'll create a new local path for you. And you can actually clone one of your own repositories so you can keep track of your work if you have a new computer. And then that works the exact same thing as when you make commits and pushes. When you get another computer, you can clone that other one and you won't lose any of your work. Another option is if someone else has given you a repo, I can come inside and I can say on GitHub, I can grab the URL of a repository that I'd like to clone. I can go ahead and paste that in and it will create a new folder for me inside my point. If I choose clone, the benefit of this is anytime that this user makes changes to their repository, I can actually pull any of those changes that have been made. So anytime they make changes, I can go ahead and pull those and fetch my origin and make sure that I always have the most up-to-date code. So for example, your teacher may have some repositories. So I have a repository here called Game Design Construct 3. I'm regularly making updates to this content, and you can clone this repository via URL. You can fetch the origin and you can make any changes on your computer in that Finder window itself. So for instance, if I go inside of GitHub, I can actually go inside this new calendar CSV, and here are all the files that I've cloned from that previous repo. Keep in mind, any changes that I make on this repo will not actually change on this main user's repo, mostly because I don't actually have access to that repo. So I'd actually end up making a fork. So no concerns there. You won't actually be able to change the main code base. But I'd suggest that you don't do that unless you're planning on actually working off of that main code base. And that's it. That's how you can clone a repo. So you can either save your work and pull on from another computer, or clone another person's repository.